Go ahead and turn to page 43 in your grammar books. 43. That's where we're at. Page 43. Let's see. So I guess Thomas is having internet issues. So we'll see if he comes in. If not, that's all right. He can watch the recording. This is page 43. We're going to talk about the adverb clause today. Like I mentioned before, in our grammar books, we are learning different parts of speech and then different clauses and phrases and things like that. And then we're going to transfer that information that we're learning in this book to our actually writing assignments down the road as we go. But it's kind of cool to learn it here first and then to be able to identify it in the sentence and then later add it to our writing. So an adverb clause is a group of words that begins with a WWW word. And hold on, I know that's confusing, but I'll explain this. This is unique to this program. And it contains a subject and a verb. An adverb clause is a dependent clause, which means it must be added to a sentence that is already complete. And this is what the clause has: a WWW word plus a subject plus a verb. And then there's the acronym. This is why it says WWW. It's an acronym, www.asia.b. Each letter stands for a word, which I'll show you next. You're going to memorize that acronym, www.asia.b, to remember the 8 most common WWW words. Here it is: WWW, Asia, B. Each letter stands for a word: when, while, where, as, since, if, although, because. The .b is B for because. So memorize www.asia.b. It has nothing to do with the continent of Asia, has nothing to do with a website. It is just a little handy acronym that you can use to remember what those adverb clause words are. So the adverb clause begins with one of these 8 words. There's a few extras, but these are the main ones. These are the ones you'll use in your book. Okay, and then it says mark it, place parentheses around the adverb clause, and write AC for adverb clause above the WWW word. Write V above each verb and S above each subject. Here's your example. Because Robin was now an outlaw, he had to hide. The adverb clause is because Robin was now an outlaw. See how they used parentheses and labeled it with AC. And to identify it, it begins with the word because right here. And that is one of the Asia words, www.asia.b, because. Oh my goodness. Okay. Apparently, when I texted Thomas's mom, yikes, it still had the record. I guess I tapped the microphone and it just typed everything I just said, 2,000 words. Don't hit
send it. Send it. If he's not going to be in the class right now, then just send him the class.
Like this giant thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway, I kept seeing my phone doing this. And I was like, what is it doing? And it was just copying everything that I was saying. Creepy. Okay. Where was I? So because is the beginning of the adverb clause and it ends on outlaw. So here, where the sheriff could not find him is the other adverb clause. It starts with where, which is one of the W words. Where the sheriff could not find him. So remember, these clauses have both a subject and a verb in them. Okay. In the margin over here are some extra notes for you, and here comes Thomas. I'm going to let him in. So we've got the www word plus subject verb. The first word is one of these words, and then commas are after, not before the adverb clause, and we're marking it with AC. Okay, now we're going down to the comma rule, and I see you, Thomas, coming in. Make sure you turn on your camera. We're on page 43 in your grammar book. A comma is used to separate items in a sentence. A comma is used after but not before an adverb clause. Page 43, Thomas. Okay. All right. Use a comma after an adverb clause that comes before a main clause. So here's the pattern: AC, comma, MC. That's adverb clause, comma, main clause. Do not use a comma before an adverb clause. So if the main clause comes first, no comma. If the main clause comes after the adverb clause, that's when you put a comma. When you rewrite the passages, copy the commas correctly. And then here's a little think about it right here. Many words can be used as different parts of speech. However, a word can perform only one part of speech at a time. For example, as can be a preposition that begins a prepositional phrase, and as can be a www word that begins an adverb clause. Just to catch Thomas up really quick on that, here's the little acronym that we're going to use to help us identify adverb clauses. It's www.asia.b is just a fun, tricky little way to help you remember what the adverb clause words are. So when, where, when, while, where, as, since, if, although, because. That's what starts the clause. So as is in both. It's in the www.asia.b, and it's part of a prepositional phrase. It can be a preposition at the beginning. So it depends on how it's used in the sentence. So the prepositional phrase, as an outlaw, Robin hid from the sheriff. As an outlaw is a prepositional phrase because it has a noun, but no verb. That's the difference. The prepositional phrase has a noun, but no verb. And then the adverb clause, it has a subject and a verb. So adverb clauses have subject and a verb. Prepositional phrases only have a noun. The example down here is, as he hid in the forest. As he hid in the forest is, oh wait, hold on. As he hid in the forest, Robin collected a band of loyal men. So as he hid in the forest is actually the adverb clause because you have a subject, he, and verb, hid. Any questions about this page so far? If not, just shake your head no, and then I know to go on. Okay, good job. All right, moving on. Let's go to the practice page, page 45. Would anyone like to read the sentence today for us? Any volunteers? This is the class that doesn't like to volunteer. All right. Let's see. Silas, can you read this for us, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
For an entire year, Robin sheltered in Sherwood Forest while he met other outlaws. He gained valuable hunting skills.
Nice. Okay. The vocabulary word is sheltered. And obviously that's a refuge, or if he found a refuge or he hid somewhere. So sheltered means that, a refuge or a hiding place. Okay, so go ahead and put a check by vocabulary for that. Got that. Article, and I want you to write these in and go ahead and find it. There's only one, and label it A and the. All right, we're going to go through this like we usually do. So I'm going to start with Joey, actually. What are the 5 nouns in these sentences, or this sentence?
Robin,
Yep.
wouldn't sheltered be one? Or
Shelter. Wait,
sheltered? the top.
Actually, that's a verb. The way it has the ed at the end.
Sherwood Forest.
Yes, and we're gonna go like this for that because it's a proper noun and it goes together.
Outlaws.
Yes,
Hunting skills.
so skills.
Yeah.
Yes, and then there's one more. And your clue is the article, because the article tells us that a noun is coming.
So year.
So year, yeah. Good. So the 5 nouns. Silas, what about the pronoun? Where is the pronoun in here?
The pronoun would be he in while he met other outlaws.
Good. Yep. And then since that was a short one, go ahead and do the adjectives too, describing the nouns.
Valuable,
Yes.
entire,
Yes.
for,
Not for. Look at these 2 nouns have more adjectives. with
other,
it. Other, yes.
and then hunting.
Yes, you got it. Hunting is one of those words that could be a verb, but in this sentence, it's used as an adjective describing this type of skills. Good, excellent. And then let's go on to Thomas. How about the coordinating conjunction? But before you tell me, I want you to write in here on this side, actually. Everybody write this in. Remember this acronym? Fanboys.
Or
Is it? No. Well, the first one, F is for. Go ahead and tell us what these are. Okay, Thomas. So we got 4. What's A for?
and
Good. Next.
is that N?
It's an N. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, okay.
Anybody know what the N stands for?
Nor.
Good. Nor. B. Thomas. You don't know? Anybody else know? You can unmute and help us. But
Because
Oh,
it's actually a but on that one. How about O?
out.
for,
No. You know, Joey?
or,
Or who was that? Was that Silas?
yeah,
Oh, okay. Why?
You.
No. Yes. Do you know what the S is, Silas?
so,
Yeah. So I want you guys to write this in on your book. Go ahead and write fanboys down.
So it's and then
Yeah, so it's and right here. Good. But I do want you guys all to have this in your book, fanboys. Go ahead and write that down. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. If you can remember fanboys, then it'll be so much easier for you. Just draw an arrow for your coordinating conjunctions over to fanboys, and we're going to write a different note on this side. Okay. Prepositional phrases. I'm going to go on to Josh. If you need a refresher, and go ahead and write this in right here, page 198. When you go to do your homework, if you forget, that's a 9, by the way. Go to page 198 in the very, very back of your book, and you'll see a list of prepositions, and that'll help you find the prepositional phrase. But do you know what it is, Josh? There's 2 of them. And you can peek back there if you need to. There's a list of prepositions and they start the phrase.
I don't think mine got that cheat sheet though.
Page 198, it looks like this
Oh, wait.
in the back of the book. Yeah.
Um,
Josh, did you figure it out yet? Or are you still looking?
Still with me.
Okay. A lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times it'll start with a very short word, either a 2 or 3 letter word, and that can help you kind of narrow it down a little bit.
me?
No, I'm waiting on Josh. Let us know if you need to call a friend. Are you there, Josh? You working on it? I can't tell if he froze.
I'm pretty sure he froze.
I'm
Oh,
pretty
wait,
sure he
no,
froze. No, is he
he's not
moving?
frozen. Yeah.
Are you there, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay, are you working on it? I can't really see you. Oh, okay. I think you froze for a second. Okay, Joey, do you want to help us out here?
For an entire year.
Yes, for an entire year. Good. And remember, it ends on a noun. That's one of them. And what's the other one, Joey?
In Sherwood Forest.
Yes, in Sherwood Forest. So the prepositions are for and in, even though for is not listed there, it's nor. But for is a preposition, in is a preposition, and then they end on a noun. So very good. Now the adverb clause, I want you to draw an arrow over here, and then I want you to do this, www, Asia, B. This is one that we just learned. www, Asia, B. We're putting notes on here just to help you with your homework throughout the week. So Silas, do you remember what these stand for? You can peek.
Like, isn't it like, well, I know what it is in the sentence. It's wild.
Yes, but let's fill this in really quick too.
I know it's like while which,
It's when,
oh, when while.
and it's on the page before this that we just went over.
Yeah, I just want to see if I can remember.
When, while, where, what's the A?
Although.
It's actually as.
Oh,
Although is down
as.
here, yeah, as. What's the S?
What is the S?
You guys can help him if you know. You can just unmute and say it.
And
It's since I
I don't know.
if
I know although and then like because at the bottom.
yes. Write this in your book, you guys. This will help you too. When, while, where, as, since, if, although, because, and you said while, and that is correct. So that's where it starts. Where does it end? While,
It ends at other outlaws.
it actually keeps going all the way to the end of the sentence. While he met other outlaws and gained valuable hunting skills. Okay. And we're going to label it with AC for adverb clause. Okay, subject verb pairs. So let's go on to Joey again. How about all the verbs? Let's start with that. What are the verbs?
I'm blanking. Remind me of verb.
A verb is an action, basically, and sometimes it's helping or linking verb, but a verb is the subject is doing something. What are they doing?
Met.
Met, good.
Gained.
Yes, gained.
Sheltered.
Yeah, sheltered because it has ed. If it didn't, it would be a noun, shelter, but since it's an action, sheltered. Good. That's all of them. And then Thomas, how about the subjects that go with these verbs? So who sheltered?
Robin.
Good, Robin. And who met?
He.
He. And who gained? Same.
Outlaws.
Actually,
Wait, no.
it's he still. That's it. Sorry,
Oh.
I didn't mean to confuse you. You got it. That was it. So he and Robin. Good. Now, opener, remember we talked about different openers. This sentence right here, it starts with a prepositional phrase. So this is actually a prepositional opener, which is a number 2. And if you forget, there's that page at the beginning of your book. I'll show you my teacher book here. If you forget what the openers are, and I know we've only learned a couple so far, but there's a lot. I think there's 6 altogether, 6 different openers. It's basically what you put at the beginning of your sentence. And this is what the page looks like. It's toward the beginning of your book. It does not have a page number, but you'll see right here. Number 1, subject opener. Number 2, prepositional opener. Number 3, ly adverb opener. 5, clausal opener. 6, VSS stands for very short sentence opener. So this is a good reference page. It's like the 3rd page in or the 4th page in of your book, the very, very beginning, to remind you what number goes with what opener. Okay. So because this starts with a prepositional phrase, it is a prepositional opener, and you label it with a number 2. Capitals, that's easy. Go ahead and find those. Put your lines underneath. Sherwood, Forest, and Robin. Comma, we have a comma rule. And usually that means we either take out a
Right
comma.
after outlaws. The
Yeah.
comma after outlaws needs to be taken away.
Okay. Whoops, sorry, I'm on the wrong page. You're right. The comma after outlaws needs to be taken out. So we're just gonna do like a little squiggly line like that.
And then
And
period
then
at the end.
period at the end, good.
Or exclamation mark if it's super exciting.
Or if it's super exciting, which it doesn't really sound like it is. So I would say period is more appropriate there. But good, that took a while to get through all of the parts, but I'm glad you have these notes on there. Hopefully you wrote those down and you can use those for your homework this week. And you know what to do from there. And then your homework will be the next 3 pages. So you'll copy this here with the corrections. And then the next 3 pages, 46, 47, and 48 are your homework. Okay, done with grammar. Hallelujah. I mean, you know, I think I told you, I actually cannot stand grammar. It drives me crazy, but I'm teaching it because it's going to help you guys. So I care more about helping you than I do about grammar. There you go. Now you know. All right. Go ahead and get out your keyword outline for the eagle and the jackdaw story that we worked on this week. Your keyword outline for that. And that was your homework this week, was to finish up your keyword outline. We're still going sentence by sentence. This is our last one, and then we're gonna actually change it up a little bit starting next week. So this one, I want you to look at your outline really quick, your keyword outline, and check to make sure that you only have 3 words per line on your keyword outline. You can have symbols and numbers and abbreviations for free, But I want you to make sure you only have 3 actual words for each number of your outline. If you do, give me a thumbs up, virtual or in the camera. Okay, good. Yeah. How about you, Josh? I didn't see you, or Joey. Did you get your thumbs up there? Okay. For some, okay, I see it now, Josh. For some reason, I think you blurred out your camera there. So it would help me if you could take off that feature because I really need to see you. Okay, Josh.
It's that he has such a dark room that him and his like dark hoodie blends into the background, and so it's blurring his background so it doesn't see him.
I guess so, but
It's maybe
earlier when you
feature.
logged in, I thought I saw the background.
No, you didn't. My room's like a big mess right now, so I don't really want to.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Well, maybe next time you log in, maybe turn your camera toward a wall or something, and then we don't see your room. But anyway, it helps to see your face because I can't tell if you're frozen or if you're there. But anyway.
By the way, I think there's a setting in the like camera settings in Zoom that's like adjust for dark room that
Oh,
like
yeah.
changes the settings of how it picks up stuff. That's
Cool.
what I have on, cause like there's weird lighting with like the overhead lights and then the window behind me, and so
Okay. Do you have to fix that setting before you log in, or can you do it while
I think you can do it in the middle, but I think you might have to do it beforehand.
Okay.
Cause I wasn't able to access all those settings I usually am in the middle of this.
You can do
Yeah.
it right now. You just go over to the little stop video thing, the little arrow, click on that.
Okay, and I'm gonna look for something really quick while you guys are working on that. See if I have this. Okay, I don't have my example of the keyword outline, but you guys have your keyword outline in front of you. So what I want to do now is looking at your keyword outline. Remember how we practiced like the first day of class where you use your outline and look at the 3 words and come up with a complete sentence using the 3 words. So we're just going to take turns doing that. I'm going to start with Joey. Tell us what you have for your Roman numeral 1. What do you have there on your outline for Roman numeral 1?
I have large, the eagle symbol, lamb carried.
Okay, so think of a complete sentence and go ahead and look up at the camera and tell us a complete sentence using those words.
A large eagle spotted a lamb and decided to carry him off.
Nice. Okay, good. A large eagle spotted the lamb, and I liked how you avoided using saw. We haven't really talked about banned words yet, but we will. I think it starts next week where you can't use see or saw anymore because those are plain. So I like how you said spotted. It gives it more of an image to the reader. So good job with that, Joey. How about Thomas, for your regular number 1 on your outline, what do you have there?
I have Jack saw eagle, prowess, stirred, I believe. And was stirred with envy.
Okay, well, say the whole sentence using those words.
The jackdaw, wait, what's it called? Jackdaw saw the eagle's prowess and was stirred with envy.
Okay, good. Nice. Good job. Josh, how about your regular number 2 on your outline? What do you have there?
I have jackdaw, steered, envy.
Okay. Oh, hold on. I think that is. So you should be on this sentence. He wanted to emulate strength. What do you have for that sentence as far as your keywords? That should be your number 2, your regular number 2.
Yeah. I have strength, eagle, and wings.
Okay, so go ahead and give us a complete sentence. using those words.
The strong eagle flew with great power in his wings and settled upon the ram.
Okay, good. No, that's good. I like it. I think you accidentally combined the next sentence, but that's okay. Good job, Josh. I like it. And then Silas, go ahead and skip down to like your regular number 4 on your outline. What do you have there for your regular number 4? This is for Silas.
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
That's
Claws, entangled fleece.
Good. Okay, now use that in a complete sentence.
But the claws of the raven, or sorry, claws of the jackdaw could not escape the fleece of the ram.
Nice. Okay, good. Nice sentences. All right, you guys, go ahead and get out a clean piece of lined paper. Good job practicing that because you're going to be writing this story with your outline. That's going to be your homework for this week. But first, I'm going to have you just label this paper. This is going to be some notes that you're taking. So your name goes here in the upper left as usual. The date is March 7th. And we're just going to call this, skip a line, and we're just going to call this LY adverbs. Now, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of adverbs out there. The best way to find one is to have a list. And we're going to work on a list that's going to be tailored to this story about the eagle and the jackdaw. But always know that you can go to your thesaurus.com. That's the best place to go. If you're looking for, well, that's more for a synonym. But you can Google what's an LY adverb to describe a bird flying. And you can get ideas on Google. As long as your parents are okay with you using Google to search things, that's a good place to go. But having a list handy like this is also a great way to do that when you're getting ready to write a story. So think about how the eagle flew down to get this lamb. And if you're thinking about how the eagle is flying, maybe it's violently. I mean, it kind of sounded like he was after this lamb, like he wanted to have it for dinner, right? So I'm going to use the word violently. We're just going to make a list here. So violently, what's another LY word to describe how the eagle was flying down?
Quickly.
Good. And I'm just going to
Concentratedly.
double space this. What was the other one?
Concentrated, like focusedly, like focused.
I guess we could do, oops, I think it's a C. How do you spell concentrated? Is it an S? Okay, this is where I struggle with spelling.
CONCENTRATED.
Concentrate,
TRATED.
concentratedly. It's got to have an LY, right? Concentratedly. That's a word. We can use that. He concentratedly flew down. Viciously is one. Could be silently. Right? The lamb had no idea what was about to get him. And now let's keep going with this list, but now let's think about the part when the jackdaw, remember that's another word for like a crow, definitely different than an eagle, right? He was stirred with envy. He was somethingly stirred with envy. Maybe desperately. Go ahead and write this list
Jealously.
down. Say that again.
Jealously.
Jealously, good. Good, I like that one. Or even truly stirred with envy. Think about the part with how he flew down, how the jackdaw was trying to fly down. He got entangled in the ram's fleece, so he somethingly became entangled.
He
Suddenly.
deadlyly.
We could change one of them, like the sentence, and put enviously.
Oh yeah, there we go, yeah. I heard deadlily.
Deadlyly. Deadlyly.
Deadly. I don't think that's a word. Let's see.
How about just deadly?
Deadly?
I mean, I don't know why we have to do LYLY.
Is
For a word.
deadly dead? Yeah. Let's look it up really quick. Deadly.
Why not deadly?
Because deady is not a word. I can tell you that.
Deadlyly.
Deadly. It would just be. I don't, because that's an adjective. So deadly, like the deadly animal or the deadly virus or something like that. It's more of an adjective. It's one of those imposters. So there are some ly words that aren't actually adverbs. So we're going to have to table that one for now. But deadly is more of an adjective than it is an adverb. I had to look that one up because it, as we're talking about it, I'm thinking, I don't know if that works. Keep thinking though. Maybe wildly, that would work. Wildly.
I just got a whole page of ly adverbs.
Oh, did you pull it up on the computer?
No, my mom handed me a book.
Oh, nice. That will come in handy.
That's cheating. That is cheating
No,
right there.
it's not. It's called using resources. It is not cheating at all. No. How about so he couldn't get, remember when the jackdaw couldn't get released from the lamb? So he was, I'm gonna keep going on this side over here, helplessly. He was trying to helplessly. Go ahead.
My resource is the answer key.
Sadly.
Your resource is the answer key. That might
Yep,
be.
that's where I got all my answers.
Sadly.
Sadly, yeah, that'll work.
It's a very reliable resource.
Okay. Painfully, possibly trying to release from the lamb.
Clearly.
Say it again.
Mhm.
For some reason, you're muffled all of a sudden.
Clearly.
Barely,
Clear.
clearly. Did I
Yeah.
say it right? Okay. Clearly. Okay, we can stop there. You get the idea.
Unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Let's add that one. Unfortunately. Say it again.
Foolishly.
Foolishly. Okay, good. We'll stop there.
Surprisingly.
Surprisingly. Okay, we'll stop there.
Unexpectedly.
Frankly.
Okay, you guys are good. This is really good. Yes, keep going. Keep going. On your own. Because we got to because we got to keep going on with the lesson. But this is going to help you when you go to write your paragraph, because your checklist now has ly adverb on it. We also have, go ahead and flip this page over, turn your lined paper over to the back side. I'm just going to move this off here.
Hardly.
Yep, you guys are getting it. There's a bunch. So just turn this over to the back side. And now we're going to talk about another thing on your checklist that's going to be new to you. And it is called, We'll just write it at the top since this is the back of your page. Who, which clause? And like I said before, we've already talked about this in your grammar part. Now we're going to incorporate this in your writing, which is good. So let's just take this sentence. I'm going to have you copy down this sentence and we're going to talk about ways we can fix it to make it fit. Okay, go ahead and write the sentence. The children asked what kind of bird is it? And make sure to double space here. Oops. Is it?
I usually almost always double space because
Good.
by the time I fill out an entire page, it looks like I've written more than I've actually had.
All right, that's one reason too, but we double space here in this class so that we can play with the sentence a little bit and kind of see what we can do. So a who which clause begins with either who or which. You guys already know that. Who is for people or things? I'm sorry, who is for people, pets, or personified animals? In this story, we have the eagle and the jackdaw, and even though they're not speaking, there's envy involved and jealousy and all that. So they're personified, okay? Because really in the nature and natural world, I don't think there's envy going on. Their brains are only so big, smaller than a pea size. So when you use who, we could use it to refer the children, right? We can say who. If I
The
put in
who.
If I put in a little caret right here, go ahead and write the word who. The children who asked, what kind of bird is it? That is not a complete sentence. We're wanting to plug in who to use as a who clause in our story, but that one is not going to work. So what is another way? I'm going to put a big X by this, meaning, nope, that's not good. So we're going to skip a couple lines. How can we rewrite this to where it makes sense using the word who?
Which kind of bird is it?
Oh, so saying the children ask which kind of bird is it? You could, except for that is not a which clause. A which clause is going to be kind of like a pronoun where it refers back to. So like when I say the children who ask what kind of bird it is, the who part is referring back to the children. So it won't work right here. How about this? The children who had never seen one before asked, what kind of bird is it? That would work. Or the children who asked, what kind of bird is it, wanted to know if it could talk. Maybe they wanted it to be a parrot. So when you add a who or which clause, yeah, you need to have another verb. So let's write this one. Go ahead and skip a couple lines. And let's put this one. The children, comma, who asked, comma. By the way, anytime you have a who or which clause, you put commas around it in the middle of the sentence. What kind of bird is it? Wanted to know if it could talk. I'll let you finish that and then I'm going to talk about it for a second. We're going to put a check mark, meaning yes, that's a good one. All right, keep finishing that sentence there, but this is the thing, when you write a sentence, as you're writing your paragraph, because you're going to use your keyword outline to make your sentence, you're going to want to find a spot to use either who or which. Remember, you're using who for a person, pet, or personified animal. Use which for a thing. But when you add it into your sentence, you have to have a second verb because it takes away the verb, okay? So if I have the children who asked, what kind of bird is it? Who asked, that kind of stole that verb now in that part of that clause. So we need to have a second verb in order for the sentence to be complete. So the children who asked, what kind of bird is it, wanted to know if it could talk. It also has this verb here, know, which is an extra one, which is fine. But you got to make sure that it has another verb after the clause to make sure it makes sense. Let's go ahead and skip a couple and do that other example, the children, and then we'll put comma, who had never seen one before, asked, what kind of bird is it? Question mark. That's another good example. So we'll put a check mark on that. The children who had never seen one before asked. So this clause has who had never seen one before. The next verb after that is asked. So that makes it complete. So that's the thing you need to remember as you're coming up with ways to use who or which clauses in your writing. Make sure after it is another verb. After you finish writing that sentence, I am going to have you take one more note. So skip a couple lines and put who and colon, people, pets, and personified animals. Animals that are speaking or have a personality or
Like
have
the scorpion and the
emotions.
toad.
What was that?
Like the scorpion and the toad.
The scorpion and the toad, yes. The tortoise and the hare. All of those good Aesop's fables.
Yeah. The tortoise is the fastest animal on earth.
You're going to use which for things. So an example of using which in this story could be maybe if you want to use it with the word feathers, if you're talking about the feathers which are powerful, or the wings, there we go, that would be even better. The wings which are powerful. So when you're talking about the part of the bird, it's the thing, right? You would use the clause which, talking about the wings, or if you're talking about the fleece which was white, or the fleece which was thick.
The thick
That
which,
makes
or
sense.
the fleece which was grabby.
Which is grabby. Yeah. So if you're referring to the fleece or the wings, you would use which. If you're referring to the actual animals because they're personified in this story, you would use who. So here are the examples. Now, what I want you to do really quick is underline who here and here. So when you use your clause from your checklist, you're going to underline it just like you do your ly adverbs. Okay, just one. You can have more than one clause in your paragraph, but you only underline one of them, and you don't have to underline the whole who clause. You're just underlining who or which. Does that make sense to you guys when you do that part? Okay, good. All right, let's see, let me check my notes here. Okay, let's look at the checklist really quick while we're at it. Checklist is on page 35 of your binder. It should be with your stuff that we moved to the front. Go ahead and put your name on your checklist here, and we're going to just kind of review this really quick, but this will be your homework, is writing your paragraph using your keyword outline and your checklist. So this is page 35 from your binder. You should have that at the front of your binder. Obviously, you're going to label your paper with a name and date. Some of you like to type, and that's okay with me. If you want to type this, I'm okay with that. Use Google Docs if you do, okay? If you are handwriting it, that's okay with me too. Just make sure you double space. Well, double space when you're typing too. It's an option at the top on the menu. It's got lines and then arrows up and down. You choose that, and then you can select 2 for double space, okay? If you're writing on lined paper, just every other line, you're skipping. And then that's what that means, composition double space. So that's really important for you to remember to do. And then your title, you're gonna come up with a new title. Remember the title rule we talked about a couple weeks ago? So you're not gonna call this the eagle and the jackdaw. You're gonna call it something else. Do this part when you're done writing your paragraph, because the rule is 1 to 3 key words from final sentence. So when you get down to that very last sentence of your paragraph, you're going to think about it and either add 1 to 3 words or choose 1 to 3 words you already have on there to use in your title. Okay. And it doesn't, like if you use one of the words and you add other words to the title, that's okay. As long as you use either 1, 2, or 3 words from your last sentence in your title. It could be something like consumed by envy or something.
How the jock dog died.
How the jackdaw died?
Ah, since the children are probably gonna step on him.
No. How about wishful thinking? You could call it wishful thinking, right? Because the jackdaw is wanting to be an eagle. But make sure either wishful or thinking is in your last sentence, and you can use that as a title. Does that make sense to you guys? Kind of get creative with it. All right. And then don't worry about this one here, checklist on top, blah, 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 because you're not turning it in to me physically. You're turning it in on the Google Classroom. But here's your dress ups. Now you have 2. LY adverb, you have a list. You can use that list. Pick one, at least one. Underline it. See how it says underline 1 of each. So you need 1 LY adverb underlined, and then 1 who or which underlined in the clause. Not the whole clause, just who or which. And then the mechanics down here, capitalization, in marks, punctuation, complete sentences, correct spelling. Don't forget to read it out loud, either to yourself in a mirror, to your stuffed animal. Like, I know all you guys, I'm sure, have stuffed animals. Just kidding. Read it to your football. Read it to your dog. I don't care. Read it out loud with your voice, because you'll pick up on things that you miss. Okay. Don't just read it in your head. Once you're done, read it out loud. I can't tell you how many times students forget that step, and then they forget a word like the or of or something silly. Okay. So make sure you read it so it makes sense. And that's your homework. You're going to write your paragraph using your keyword outline and this checklist, and then your 3 pages in grammar. Any questions about what you're doing this week for homework? No questions. Okay. Then, boom, it's 12 o'clock. How about that? Talk about right on time. All right, you guys, have a good one, and I will see you next week.
All right, I'll